Good evening, everyone. Wekiva High School welcomes you to Mustang Arena for Varsity basketball competition. Please welcome our guests from Ocoee High School. They are the Knights. And they'll be taking on your Wekiva High School Mustangs. Before we begin our game this evening, we ask that you please stand as we honor America with the presentation of colors by the Wekiva High School Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. Tonight's color guard. Carrying the rifles are Cadet Senior Master Sergeant Elijah Queen and Cadet Staff Sergeant Emily Garcia. Carrying the U.S. flag is Cadet Captain James Ramanek. Carrying the Florida State flag is Cadet Senior Airman Danielle Walker. Carrying the Air Force flag is Cadet Second Lieutenant Brittany Hercule. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. And now, let's meet the teams. We'll begin with our guests from Ocoee. And we'll start at post with 6'6" senior, number 1, Princeton Garden. At guard and forward, 6'4" senior, number 3, Malachi Washington. At wing, a 6'4" senior, number 4, Brendan Shaw. At small forward, 6' junior, number 5, Michael McClinton. And finally for the Knights, at forward, 6'1" senior, number 14, Anthony Claire-Enos. And the head coach of the Knights, Marcel Thomas. And now, let's meet your Wekiva High School Mustangs. Starting at guard, 5'11" junior, number 1, Darian Thomas. At point guard, 6' junior, number 10, Luke St. Pierre. At wing, 6'4" junior, number 11, Jason Francilla. At guard, 6'4" sophomore, number 21, Kenny Diochos. And And finally for the Mustangs, at guard, 5'9", senior, number 4, Juju Johnson. Head coach of the Mustangs, Mr. Justino Lubin. The officials for tonight's game are from the Central Florida Officials Association here in Orlando. We thank them for their dedicated service to our high school athletic programs and join them along with our participating schools, reminding everyone to make great sportsmanship a part of this and every athletic competition. We also want to remind you that if you have friends and family back in Ocoee, elsewhere in Apopka, or anywhere in the world, and they weren't able to join us in person for tonight's contest, you can just send them to nfhsnetwork.com, or if they're not a member there, that's okay. You can also watch us for free on YouTube. Our channel name is Wekiva Sports. Just search Wekiva Sports on the YouTube app from your favorite computer, smart TV, or mobile device, and it should come right up. And we want to welcome those of you who have done just that. My name is Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs and Sports Information Director here at Wekiva High School, joined by Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief, ready to take you through our first home contest of the month of December. And Neil, as we come back from the Thanksgiving break, the Mustangs are looking to put some positive momentum. They've had a little bit of success, but so far it's been a little bit tough going for the Mustangs as they open up season 18.
Yeah, Mark, that's a good way to put it. Of course, Wekiva coming off the loss to Lake Highland Prep in the Metro versus Florida Challenge. And they are currently 1-2. Of course, Ocoee comes in 1-5, so both these teams in need of a win. More so Ocoee because they've played more games. And Ocoee's going to get their first possession. So, of course, Wekiva coming in, 1, 2, 7 returners, 3 transfers. And just a minute in, we get our first foul as well.
Held ball, possession, Knights.
Of course, Ocoee also playing in that Metro versus Florida Challenge, losing to Eustis. And just real quick, that was a final with the Metro Conference going 16-12. That, of course, was last week at First Lake Highland Prep and then Apopka, as Brendan Shaw trying to weave his way through the Wekiva defense. And they will keep possession of Ocoee, that is. No score. Just a minute into this game on Wednesday night. Thank you for joining us. Again, both these teams in need of a win, even though it's early in the season. And still no points on the board. Give that rebound to Kenny DeJuice. Hand off to Darian Thomas. He comes up to the top of key. Goes to Ocoee in their man-to-man defense. Wekiva not in any particular hurry to take that shot. Perhaps something Coach Lubin and his staff talked about during the break. Long range from St. Pierre, clanks off the front of the rim.
Foul's called against Mustangs. Number 11, Jason Francil, in his first, team's first, and that will turn the ball over to the Knights.
So Wekiva coming out in a full court defense. Back at the other end, Windet's work, and trying to get it back up is McClinton, the 6-foot junior.
Kenny DeJuice was trying to get a horsey ride, and I don't think that's allowed. Foul called against Kenny DeJuice. That's his first personal, the team's second, and that will send Michael McClinton to the line, shooting 2.
In and out. Of course, Ocoee just up the road. Would you say, Mark, maybe about 10 miles from here?
Arguably as close as Apopka, even though Apopka maybe gets a little bit more visibility as a quote-unquote rival school just for being in the city limits. Ocoee is not far at all, just a quick trip down the 414.
Of course, Ocoee, chronologically, the school before Wekiva opening in Orange County Public Schools. And this is actually the second version of Ocoee High School as well. They actually did exist up till the mid-70s. OCPS decided to close them out, reopening them in 2005. And now they'll have a shot at taking the lead.
Trey is not there. The rebound goes to Kenny Dujist, coming the other way. And it's taken away. Dribble comes out from under Leuven St. Pierre, courtesy of Brendan Shaw.
So still no scores. We approach 3 minutes. Both teams taking 3 shots, field goal attempt. Neither able to connect. We've had a couple of fouls as well, both on Wekiva, now the turnover.
5 seconds under guard, Mustangs ball.
And I can hear Coach Leuven
Timeout
to my
Mustangs.
left.
They will request their first timeout. 30-second timeout called by Wekiva.
So still no score. Looking to find that range. Wekiva back to work with a chance to take their lead. Both teams looking for their second victory. No dice. Clinks off the front of the rim from Thomas. And an interception. Nice play there by Washington to get his hand in the way. And Ocoee will settle down now, looking for that shot to run their half court and score the deuce.
Basket by Brendan Shaw.
So a 2-0 lead for Ocoee. Again, they come in 1-5. Wekiva 1-2. Both these teams with that one win could certainly use a second, gain some momentum. Momentum has a odd way of making its presence felt. You get a few losses on that board, and suddenly your whole season is on the board.
Basket by Darius Holiday.
So a 3-2 lead now for Ocoee.
Mustang foul called against number 10, Leuven St. Pierre, his first, the team's third. Rancillon back into the game for the Mustangs.
Full court trap now for Wekiva. Nice job of Ocoee breaking it at the other end. The reception.
Through traffic, Michael McClutton on the layup.
5-2 lead, largest of the game. Neither team was able to score a field goal through the first 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. They've traded baskets since then. 3.5 remaining. St. Pierre, top of the key. 2-3 defense, zone defense.
Darian Thomas is fouled in the putback attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Mustangs. Knight's foul is called against number 14, Anthony Clare. And Innes, that's his first personal foul, the team's first.
So as you just heard Mark Barchi say, he's also our public address announcer. We got some free throws coming from Thomas. And those are Thomas's first point of the game.
Two for 2 at the line for Thomas.
cuts the lead to 5-4. Ocoee has led throughout. They've never trailed, and at the other end, the floating deuce off the pass.
Princeton Gordon.
And a whistle, 2:40 first quarter. Ocoee back up with that 3-point lead, 7-4.
Bryce Dees into the game for the Mustangs.
Inbound pass to Thomas, swings it over to Fred Sullen. Now back to Johnson in the corner. That's Deese, unable to connect. And it'll be Ocoee basketball. So Ocoee a chance to create some separation. Currently a 3-point lead. Of course, if they get the basket, it'll be 5 if they get a tray. That'll make it a 2-possession lead. Still a 2-possession lead, but 5 points. And just get quickly, the turnover back the other way, and Johnson draws contact while leading the charge.
Knight's foul called against number 5, Michael McClelton, his first, the team's second.
So non-shooting foul, 2:09 first quarter. Ocoee with a 7-4 lead as Deese inbounds it to St. Lubens. Of course, as we mentioned, 7 players returning from last year's squad. So if you followed the team last year, these names should sound familiar from the beginning of the season. Johnson thinks Trey. Deese over to Thomas. The 6-foot turnaround, no dice. Skying for that rebound. Great job. Great footwork and tip work. Francillin, but he's unable to get the right balance. And look, and back the other way we go is a minute and a half in the first quarter. So Wekiva a couple of opportunities to cut into that 3-point lead. Goes by the wayside. Now exactly 1.5. Nothing doing there but air. And right place, right time. Thomas scoops up that ball, and he's off to the horse races. At the other end, off the rim. Windex for Jean Luis, but either team still shooting under 30% with 1:09 now remaining.
Foul is called against Mustangs, number 10, Leuven St. Pierre. That's his second personal foul, the team's fourth.
So as you heard Mark say, who's also our public address announcer, 4 fouls, which means Ocoee will be in bonus for the rest of the quarter. Step back and splash for Brendan Shaw.
For Brendan Shaw.
That makes it 10-4 with a minute remaining. Largest lead of the game for Ocoee. They've yet to trail. Neither team able to get a field goal through the first 3.5 minutes. St. Louis Lubens going against the double team, now kicks it out to McCullum, back to St. Louis from way downtown. You can hear that clanking on the rim. Way too much heat and off target, and it'll be a Ocoee possession.
We got 2 shots.
Foul is called against Jason Francillin. That's his second personal foul, the team's first. Penalty situation. Jamison Jean Lewis will be shooting 2.
So Jean Luis, he's 6'6" junior forward at the free throw line. He's looking for his first points of the game. And there he gets it, 2 of 4 as a team for Ocoee. And now the 11-4 lead. As Wekiva, under 30 seconds, sets up in the half-court defense. St. Leuven's at the top of the key, one-on-one against Billings. Still one-on-one. Billings now switches off. That was McCullum. Loose ball picked up by McCullum. The other McCullum. 7 seconds to go, and possession will remain with Wekiva. Tipped. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, driving through the lane is Roundtree. He's blocked, and that will bring the first quarter to an end, but certainly a position with that block shot. Ocoee could afford far more than Wekiva. Neither team shooting particularly well, but Ocoee shooting a little bit better and putting together a strong second half of that first quarter to take an 11-4 lead heading into the second quarter.
The Mustangs have the opening possession in the second quarter. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi here with Neil Fisher.
(11-4) lead for Ocoee. Both teams looking for the second win of the season. No dice from Johnson. I believe that's only his second attempt of the game. And so now Ocoee, with an opportunity to further increase that lead, could get it up to double digits. Down low, some nice passing, turnaround, no dice off the front from Gordon. And Wekiva, Johnson, into the middle. Johnson taking the return pass, scoops it up, block. From the right wing, stop, pop in, drop from Anderson.
For Anderson.
So the offensive rebound. And now back the other way. Wekiva a chance to further cut into that lead, score on consecutive possessions. Rims in and out. Battle underneath the basket there. DeGiusti winning that one. Takes the return pass down low into the corner. One-on-one. Back up to Deese, who will reset the offense. From the right wing, no dice. DeJuice tracks it down. Nice Windex. Good hustle. Stop, pop in, drop.
Juju Johnson.
Now got back down to one possession. Ocoee had a chance to get it up to double digits, and just that quickly. Back underneath. Shaw
Second chance basket by Brendan Shaw on the reverse layup.
Making the withdrawal, Shaw, 6 minutes, second quarter, 13-8 lead now for Wekiva. Loose ball, Roundtree stepping in front, leading the charge at the other end. Too much heat on the withdrawal attempt. And a jump ball.
It was almost goaltending by DeJuice. Trey short for Washington. Malachi Washington is fouled in the putback attempt under the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against Juju Johnson. His first, team's first of the second quarter. First shot is in. Get the floor dried off here. Washington looking for his second shot. Knights leading by 6. And it finds the mark.
50.
Should point out, we do have a camera up in the sky. We just don't have anyone to operate it right now. We are trying to recruit a camera operator, and if we're able to do that, as we get a basket by Juju Johnson. So right now you're stuck with me as your camera operator here at the score table. I know sometimes the substitutes and the officials block the shot. We're going to see if we can do something about that. Basket for the Knights by number 1. Little dust up there, and it gets out to the corner. 3 is not there for Darius Holiday. Bowens lets the tray fly. That's not there. The rebound goes to Holiday. Juju Johnson had a good look from the paint. Doesn't fall for him, though. Timeout Knights. 30-second timeout requested by Ocoee. Back with more from Mustang Arena in just a moment. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi here with Neil Fisher. It's a 7-point ball game. Knights lead the Mustangs with 4 minutes 23 seconds remaining in the first quarter, in the second quarter.
Ocoee has yet to trail in this game. They scored first. The lead has been between 1 and 7 points. And now Wekiva an opportunity to cut into that lead. That's St. Leuven, spins, blows by everybody and floats into this. Ocoee sets back up in the half court. Chance for Wekiva to get the ball, just couldn't quite get there in time. Washington with the drive, the attack.
Malachi Washington is fouled on the way up. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Fouls called against Mustangs number 4, Juju Johnson. His second, the team's second of this quarter.
So at the line, Washington. He's looking for his first point, score it. Excuse me, that's his third point, actually. So 2 of 2 from the line for Washington. He has 4 points, and the lead now back up to 7 with 3.5 minutes remaining. Wekiva back to work on the right wing. The launch. Drain the rain from Johnson.
3 for Juju Johnson.
4 points for Washington. Gets that lead down to 4 points, 2 possessions. Ocoee looking for the answer. No, slides off. And ripping that rebound down is the Juice. Over to St. Lubens, a long pass. It'll remain with Wekiva. Possession will remain with Wekiva. So now Wekiva, another opportunity to get that lead down to 1 possession. 3:03 remaining before halftime. They trail by 4 points. Both these teams come in with only 1 win. It's been a much slower start than either would like. Did you see the second attempt? Iron Kine scored the Juice.
From the key.
Stolen, beautiful tip by Anderson over to Johnson. He's rejected, right place, right
Second
time.
chance basket by Lubin St. Pierre. And it's a time. All game will pause for a timeout.
So the turnover. And we also have a foul as well.
Correction, there is no
remaining.
timeout. There is delay of game warning called against Kenny DeJuiced. No penalty for the first strike.
Delay game on white. The delay game on I don't know. I'm gonna find out. It was on you, Kobe. It was on you. Delay game on white.
So a delay of game warning is called when a player either interferes with an inbounding situation by stepping into the space they're not allowed to be, or otherwise pushes the ball away from play and unnecessarily delays the game. First time it happens is free.
Scoring the nails. The withdrawal from the Juice.
Kenny DeJuice for the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. Fouls called against Knights number 3, Malachi Washington. His first, the team's first of this quarter.
So the Juice, if you don't succeed the first time, try again. And for the first time tonight, Wekiva is in the lead. They are on a 9-0 run. 2:26 remaining in the first quarter. And as I started to say before, both these teams need a victory. They've had a slower than they would like start, only 1 victory. Wekiva, though, 1-2 compared to 1-5 for Ocoee. And free throw does not drop for the Juice, so leaves a point on the board as we drop to 2:20. And at the other end, possession will go back to Wekiva. So some good old-fashioned hard-nosed effort underneath that basket, underneath the boards. Again, Wekiva on the 9-0 run. Ocoee built a lead. They had led for the entire game up till about 3 minutes, about a minute ago. Lead as large as 7. Wekiva stormed back 9 in a row now. Offensive rebounding and turnovers have been the catalyst, as is usually the case. St. Louis sweeps through the quick pass.
Kenny DeJuice is fouled, but it's on the floor. Fouls called against number 21, Jeremiah Harris, his first, the team's second.
So St. Lubens will pass the ball into the Juice. He goes right wing now, a little bit higher with Thomas. Over to Anderson. Both these teams played in last week in the Metro versus Florida Challenge. They both lost. Wekiva losing to Lake Highland Prep. Ocoee losing to Eustis as the Juice lets it go. No dice, a lot of Wekiva players. But a couple passes later, we are tied at 21-0.
Transition layup to Brendan Shaw.
So a very concerted, deliberate effort to get the right shot for Wekiva. Does not produce, and Ocoee turns it into a basket at the other end quickly. And we are tied at 21-all, 108 first, second quarter.
Foul's called against number 4, Brendan Shaw. That's his first personal foul, the team's third.
Inbound pass to Anderson. 1 minute remaining in the second quarter. We are tied at 21-all, the second tie of the ball game. We're tied at 19-all as well. Sweeping through that lane is St. Lubens, and he'll earn himself a trip to the free throw line.
Foul's called against Knights, number 14.
Excuse me.
That's his second personal foul, team's fourth. At the line, shooting will be Lubin St. Pierre.
So St. Pierre at the line. He has 4 points tonight, but Mark, certainly it seems like we've been calling his name out a lot, even when he's not scoring.
Yeah, he's got a lot of intangibles, a lot of things that don't necessarily go in the stat book, a lot of touches tonight.
Wekiva back in the lead. Third lead change of the ball game. So again, Ocoee, at least up to this point in the game, can certainly look back at a number of opportunities to further extend a 6-7 point lead. In the meantime, Wekiva is stormed back. They are on a 10-2 run. And speaking of missed opportunities for both those teams, Wekiva the missed free throw and then the turnover for Ocoee. So 47 seconds remaining before halftime. And St. Pierre brings that ball up. Quick pass down low, but nobody home. Back the other way, the quick pass. And traveling through that lane.
Brendan Shaw draws the contact. He'll go to the line and shoot two. The foul is called against Mustangs, number 12, Markel Anderson, his first, the team's third.
Of course, Ocoee returning 8 seniors. Under the leadership of Marcel Thomas now, his 4th year. And of course, Thomas won a couple of state championships out in Polk County. 0 of 2 from the line. And boy, that could have gone to Shaw if he had just moved a little bit quicker, picking up the loose ball. And to work goes Jean Luis. And he won't be able to get the shot off. 24.9 seconds remaining.
Shaw tried to chase it out of bounds, just couldn't quite get it under control. Bryce Dees comes in for the Mustangs.
Quickly into Dees, a turnaround off the heel, bounds off, and skying for the rebound, number 14. Back the other way we go, 10 seconds remaining. Ocoee, chance to take the lead, and they do on the square tray.
Anthony Clarinas for 3.
2 seconds remaining, one last shot for Wekiva, it's short. And so what was an Ocoee lead for most of that first half, Wekiva with a 9-0 run, giving themselves a shot. 3 lead changes during the last couple of minutes, and when all is said and done at halftime, it's a 24-22 lead for the Ocoee Knights, with both teams looking for their second win of the season.
Is this for that? This is trash. Guys, grab the drinks, baby.
our fans here in the arena, if we could have your attention, if we have any yearbook students, film students, managers, JV or freshman players, or anybody else who has ever used TikTok and wants some service hours, we could use a camera operator for the second half. It's the world's easiest job. You just pan the camera back and forth, but we do need a camera operator for our live stream. If you're interested, come see us at the score table. We'll get you some service hours.
Their ball coming in, or? I got white ball, white ball, white ball. White ball, white ball.
The Mustangs have the opening possession of the third period.
And we begin the third quarter. Ocoee with the 24-22 lead. They scored the last 3 points. A triple from Brendan Shaw on their last possession. Both these teams coming in with one win, so they certainly need a victory before they get too many losses piled up. 1-2 for Wekiva, though, compared to 1-5 for Ocoee. With that said, looking at your stats at halftime, as Johnson has a left wing extended, your leading scorers for Ocoee, of course, as I just mentioned, is Shaw, the 6'4" senior wing. He has 11 points, including the last 3 of the first half, to put Ocoee ahead. Juju Johnson, 7 points for Wekiva, followed by St. Pierre with 5 points. Neither team shooting well. Of course, if you were watching in the first half, that comes as no surprise as St. Pierre tries to do that in and over move, faking the pass, and it's going to be a jump ball.
Held ball, possession Knights.
So Wekiva unable to tie this ball game or take the lead on their first opportunity. They'll have to come up with a stop at the other end to keep the lead from growing for Ocoee. Ocoee shooting just 8 of 25 from the field, so below 33%. Wekiva 9 of 27, so a little bit better at 30%. But they've had the 27, and just as soon as I say that, they heat up from the outside.
3 for Anthony Clarinas.
So now 6 consecutive points for Ocoee. And the difference so far is at the free throw line, where Ocoee has taken 8 attempts, making 6, compared to only 5 for Wekiva. Both teams shooting around 60%, actually 75 for Ocoee, but Wekiva, and 60% for Wekiva. But obviously, again, as I like to say, you don't need to be a basketball guru, as Thomas traveled on that turnaround.
Traveling, Knights ball.
The more you shoot, the more likely you are to score points, and of course, a 3-point differential in attempts as well as the actual points scored. Both teams, Ocoee with a slight edge in the rebounds, 18-17, while Wekiva has a slight edge in the turnovers, 6-9. So there's your stats. 3 lead changes, 2 ties in that first half. Ocoee, again, scoring the last 5 points, 3 before in the second half, and 2 will open up here and make that 8 in a row now, finding the range.
3 for the Knights.
And so the senior-laden team of Ocoee starting to exert that experience, a 30-22 lead, which is also the largest of the game. It was previously 7, 3 times in that first half, as St. Luvens calls out the play. St. Pierre calls out the play down in the corner to Thomas, off the mark, and the Juice came down with it, but there was a whistle before touching the ball. 5:22, third quarter.
Foul called against Michael McClinton, his second. Team's first this quarter.
So Wekiva will go back to work, trying to tip it in was Francillon. Second, no good. Third
Jason
opportunity.
Francillon gets his own putback.
So it took him 3 tries, but the end result is the same. Breaks an 9-0 run by Ocoee. Wekiva's led only once. That was spurred on by a 9-0 run towards the end of the second quarter. Back in the corner to Shaw. He can't get the tray to drop. Spinning for the rebound. Second opportunity. That was Gordon. And tracking down their third offensive rebound. Back to the corner. Gordon, the 6'6" senior, unable to drop the 6-foot turnaround. Possession will remain with Ocoee, though.
Returning to the game for the Mustangs, Darius Holiday.
So Ocoee now on a 10-2 run to re-seize the lead, as well as a largest margin of the game. It is 6 points, or it was 8 points, now down to 6.
Fouls called against number 4, Juju Johnson. His third. The team's first of this quarter.
So certainly this lead, which is again gone between 8 and 6 points, capable of overcoming Wekiva, that being, as we get the turnover, wild pass. But certainly Ocoee in a much more comfortable position in terms of playing from ahead. 8 points, the largest of the game, now down 6. So much can change here. Wekiva with an opportunity to not only cut that lead to 4 or even 3 points, but to certainly, again, make things more uncomfortable for Ocoee if they can drop a deuce here. And they do. Actually, it's a tray. The splash.
3 for Juju Johnson.
Just that quickly, the 8-point lead now down to 3 points, 1 possession at the other end. The quick shot by Ocoee, ripping the rebound down. Gordon, he goes back to work. There was contact and a break for Wekiva. Not only did they get the block, couldn't see quite who got a hand on that.
That was DeJuiced.
But it touches Ocoee last. So give DeJuice credit, mentioned in that first half. St. Pierre seemed to be calling out his name a lot, seemed like on every possession. But now DeJuice starting to take on that role, calling his name quite a bit here in the early going of the third quarter. 3:45 remaining, 30-27 lead for Wekiva. Ocoee led for all but about 30 seconds in that first half. They're never able to build the lead by more than 7. Then a 9-0 run put him back in the lead at the end of the second quarter.
Timeout Mustangs.
Carried that momentum into this third quarter, building as much as an 8-point lead, now down to 30-27. So Wekiva 5 in a row, and they'll be looking to come up and add to that. They need to get a stop though first. 3:32 from Mustang Arena.
Back to live action here at Mustang Arena.
3:32 in the third quarter. Wekiva with possession. They've scored 5 in a row, and now an opportunity to cut that lead down to 1 or even tie the game. Nichols down low to Holiday. He tried to use the staggered move.
Darius Holiday draws contact on the putback attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against number 14, Anthony Clarinas. That's his 3rd personal foul, the team's 2nd.
Holiday with 2 points. So obviously a low-scoring game, as we mentioned at halftime. Neither team shooting the ball well. Still looking to find their mojo from the field, if you will. Both teams shooting under 35%. And it's really been a game of putting together one run for both these teams, actually 9-0 for both these teams. So it comes down to the beginning when Ocoee was able to score the first 4 points. Second free throw, no dice. Give the rebound to Washington, and Ocoee will go back to work with that 3-point lead and a missed opportunity for Wekiva. They'll catch the break, though. As you like to say, Mark, one good turnover, one good mistake deserves another. So both these teams an opportunity to exert their situation further, neither able to convert. And when all said and done, a 30-27 lead still remains for Ocoee. A quick whistle as well. Out of bounds, so possession will remain with Wekiva. 3:05 remaining, third quarter. Both these teams come in with just 1 win. Wekiva against 2 losses, Ocoee against 5.
Black three.
Foul is called against number 3, Malachi Washington, his 2nd, the team's 3rd.
It's up here. Hey, up here.
Wekiva will be taking on West Orange right here at Mustang Arena on Friday night. Another Metro Conference opponent, the up and over swinging arm move, and that'll draw the foul. Holiday will go to the line.
Now he's got to.
Foul is called against number 1, Prince Scorton. That's His second personal foul, the team's fourth, and it will send Darian Thomas to the line shooting 2.
Thomas at the line. Thomas with 2 points. Cuts the lead down to 2. Can we get it down to 1? .250 remaining in the third quarter. Off the heel, Thomas gets his own rebound, kicks it out, and Nichols unable to handle it. Of course, Nichols' back was to us, but that looked like very much a looking to do what he was going to do with the ball before actually receiving and gaining control of the ball situation. So 2:48 remaining. Things could be much worse for Ocoee. They still have the 2-point lead. Wekiva full court defense. Quick pass underneath to Roundtree. He can't get the deuce to fall, too hard. The Juice rips the rebound down, 2 passes at the other end. It's Nichols, sweeps through the lane. He can't get the ball to fall his way, but possession does remain with Wekiva. So Wekiva now only 1 of 4 in this third quarter from the free throw line. And of course, now down by 2 points, you could say that's the difference in the game right now. Back the other way, the quick attack. No dice by Billings as he ran into a host of Mustangs. Good job to get back on defense and cut off the lane. Wekiva looking to tie the score. They can take it on a tray. They'll set up, go at a much more deliberate pace from the half-court set. Over to Nichols. At the line, spins around, and now bounce passes it. No one home. Roundtree picks up the loose ball from the free throw line. The floating deuce, stop, pop, and drop.
Darren Roundtree adds 2 for the Knights.
So Wekiva now down by 2 possessions, 1:40 remaining.
Foul is called against number 24, Jamison Jean Lewis. That's his first. The team's 5th. Penalty situation. Eric Nichols at the line shooting 2. So Eric Nichols scores 1 of 2, cuts it to a 29-32 game, and now Eric Nichols steals a Mustang layup, and that takes us back to a 1-point ball game. We'll pause for a timeout. Thirty-second timeout is called by the Knights. Back with more from Mustang Arena in just a moment. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Minute 27 to go in the third. Ocoee has held the lead for, well, just by eyeballing it, probably about 3/4 of the minutes of the game, but Wekiva has always kept the game at arm's length, and right now they've got it down to a 1-point ball game. 32-31 is the score, and the Mustangs looking to see if they can retake the lead, and now we're going to get a foul on a dunk. Jamison Jean Lewis draws contact on the dunk attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against Mustangs number 21, Kenny DeJuice. That's his second personal foul. The team's second. That's a foul that coach is probably not going to be too upset about, because that's almost certainly 2 points if you don't foul there. Jean Lewis with 1 point in the books. Chance to make it 2 or 3 here. Number 1 falls. As Neil mentioned earlier, both of these teams lost their games in the Metro versus Florida Challenge last week. Ocoee losing to Eustis, Wekiva falling to Lake Highland Prep. Both teams looking for their second win tonight.
Where did he hit him? Because it was all ball up top. So where did he hit him? Oh, you called body, not on top of the ball. Body was fine, it's just the whole body.
Putback is made by Jeremiah Harris. So that's the only thing worse for the Mustangs than Ocoee making both of their free throws, is making the first, missing the second, but then getting the putback. So a total of 3 points gained in that exchange. And now it rolls out for Eric Nichols. Kenny DeJuice has, there it is, second chance basket for Kenny DeJuice. 6 points for him overall tonight. And now the Mustangs running interference. They're able to disrupt the transition, but not able to change the possession. 48.7 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Returning to the game for the Mustangs, number 15, Kenyon Arrington. Well, narrowly avoids the backcourt violation, but prior to the shooting action, the foul is called against Markel Anderson. That's his second, team's third. Possession stays with Ocoee. Layup picked up by number 4. Just 20 seconds remaining in the quarter now. Pass bounces off of Kenny DeJuice and into the waiting arms of Jeremiah Harris. They're going to say that was deflected off the Knights. Mustangs get the ball. Eric Nichols going to bring it out. And it's picked away by Jamison Jean Lewis. Not able to do anything with it, but also making sure the Mustangs don't either. And that takes us to the end of the third quarter, back and forth quarter. The Knights end up on top by 4. 37-33 is your score with 8 minutes left to play here in Mustang Arena. Back with more in a moment. The Mustangs have the opening possession of the fourth quarter. And Neola, the Mustangs have always kept this game within arm's reach, but have just not been able to get any unanswered points, or at least not string enough of them together to put any meaningful distance between them and the Knights.
A 37-33 lead for the Knights. Speaking of the lead, again, the Knights have led for all this game, but about 30 seconds. To your point, Mark, piggybacking on that. Largest lead has been 8 as St. Pierre, again, off the right side of the rim, though. DeJuice, Windex work, scoops up the ball, hands it back to Thomas. He's one-on-one on that left wing. First minute of the fourth quarter. Metro Conference showdown from Wekiva facility, the Mustang Arena. St. Pierre swings around, stop goes, and floats in the deuce.
St. Pierre gets a fourth quarter scoring for Wekiva. And a turnover on the inbound. Couldn't quite see what that was. I'm not sure if it was an inbounding violation or if it just went out of bounds right off the inbound, but one way or the other. Coach Thomas is
coming out to center court now. He's trying to get the ref's attention. So only 3 lead changes and 3 ties. Again, another stat which backs up your thought there, Mark.
Full timeout is called by Ocoee.
So when we come back, Wekiva down by 2, have an opportunity to tie this game or even take their second lead of the game. In the meantime, the refs are discussing 37-35. This is the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network. (37-35), Ocoee with the lead. They are on defense. Wekiva, the home school. Of course, this is the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network. They have possession, looking to inbound. A chance to tie this game.
Yeah, Coach Thomas had some questions and asked for the officials to conference to get an explanation of what exactly happened down there to cause the turnover, as the Mustangs pick up 2 for Grandsillan.
So again, only the 4th tie of the ball game.
So whatever it was, the officials determined that it was called correctly the first time, so it did not change. Now Ocoee turns the ball over again, and Wekiva has an opportunity to take the lead for only the second time.
St. Pierre brings the ball up. Ocoee sets in the half-court defense. 2-3 zone as we drop to 6.5. Both these teams with 9-0 runs. So the difference was at the beginning. Ocoee took a 4-1 lead. Neither team shooting the ball well throughout the night, but they were stone cold in the first 4 minutes. Neither team able to drop a tray or a deuce during those first 4 minutes.
Foul is called against number 4, Brendan Shaw. That's the second personal foul. Team's first this quarter.
Ocoee made 1 free throw to take a 1-0 lead, and then they got a tray with about 4 minutes remaining as going Windeck off the board.
Grandsillan off the inbound.
And Wekiva with the 39-37 lead, as you heard Mark say, second of the ball game, 4th lead change. So again, that 3-point tray at about 4 minutes, which was the first basket of the game, was the difference.
Lewin St. Pierre called on the block. It's his 3rd, the team's first.
Wekiva now has enforced its will and skill over the last 2 minutes or so, and now they got a chance to get their largest lead of the game.
The outlet pass is too much heat, and Kenny DeJuice is just not able to reel it in as he taps himself on the chest to acknowledge responsibility.
And again, Mark, you don't have to be a basketball guru. If you look at the shooting, both teams shooting under 35%. as I mentioned, neither team shooting well during the first 4 minutes. As a matter of fact, nobody making any baskets.
Brendan Shaw reties the game for Ocoee.
Neither team making any field goal attempts during those first 4 minutes. But now they are actually up to about 30%. Still stone cold, but again, better than they were when they started. And of course, when you're not shooting, you're shooting under 35%, you would expect to see a 39-39 score. So 5:20 remaining with Wekiva in possession against the 2-3 zone defense of Ocoee.
Well, certainly, Neil, last week at the Metro versus Florida Challenge, we saw some games that had some hot shooting that a single team had more than this combined. Mustangs pick up the transition rebound. Trying to get something happen in transition themselves. Trey not there for Juju Johnson. Rebound this time goes to Princeton Gordon.
Both these teams looking for their second win of the season. Difference is Wekiva's played half of the amount that Ocoee is. Down low, some nice passing around from the senior leading team. Bricks it off that left side of the rim. Just no arc on that. That was McClinton. So Ocoee's played 6 games, they're 1-5. Wekiva's played 3 games, they're 1-2. And of course, you can very easily have a lost season at the beginning of the season. You can't have a great season, you can't have one of those memorable seasons from the beginning, but you can certainly wind up having a lost season when you want to forget within 5 or 6 games. So it's important for both these teams to get a victory tonight. And a foul over on that far sideline with 4:06 remaining, 39 all.
Foul is called against Knights number 5, Michael McClinton, his third personal foul, the team's second.
So Wekiva will be playing here again, Mustang Arena. On Friday night, they'll be taking on West Orange. Warriors making their first appearance of the season. Over to Johnson, wide open, couple feet behind, rolls in and out. Thomas, Windex work, tracking it down. They'll reset. Johnson, stop, back out to Thompson. He's open, and he can't hit it. Clanks off that right side of the wind, bounces out of bounds. So Wekiva, again, not only did both these teams come out about as cold as a team can from the floor in terms of field goal percentage shooting, neither team able to connect on the field goal attempt during the first 4 minutes, but Wekiva really not getting any offensive rebounds during that period either. Now they're starting, they have over in this fourth quarter picked up the offensive rebounding, giving themselves some more opportunities at shooting. At the other end, score the deuce, +1.
Jeremiah Harris gets the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. It's also the go-ahead basket. The foul is called against Mustangs, number 21, Kennedy Juice.
It's big boy basketball. He can't lower his shoulders into his chest like that. It's big boy basketball.
So Harris at the line, the 6'2" junior forward, bowled his way in after getting that pass. And the old-fashioned 3-point play. And now Ocoee back up 42-39.
Timeout.
3:32 remaining. 5th lead change of the ball game.
We'll be back. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. 3 minutes, 32 seconds remaining in the ball game, and the Mustangs have twice held the lead by as much as 2 points. However, at this particular moment, they are down 3.
After a brilliant play by Jeremiah Harris, the old-fashioned three-point play, bowled his way in and floated in the deuce from the left side and then got the +1 free throw. So what was a game that pretty much, well, was rather boring. Ocoee leading for all but about 30 seconds through the first 3 quarters. Wekiva keeping it within arm's reach, never trailing by more than 8. But in this fourth quarter, we've seen 4 lead changes. As you mentioned, as Mark just mentioned, and at the free throw line, that'll be DeJuice. Lowered the shoulder and came up.
Kenny DeJuice,
contact.
foul on the attempt to go to the line and shoot 2 for the Mustangs. Foul is called against Knights, number 10.
Four lead changes in this fourth quarter. As Mark mentioned, never leading by more than 2 points. They had opportunities both times when they had that 2-point lead to get it up to 2 possessions. Now 2:50 remaining in this Metro Conference matchup. Of course, this is also, could also consider this a rivalry game, as Ocoee, just a few miles up the road. Of course, the conventional and traditional thought since Wekiva opened has been Apopka is their main geographical rivalry, but Ocoee only a couple more miles in distance from Wekiva. And of course, both schools opening within 2 years of each other, 2005 for Ocoee, 2007 for Wekiva. So now a 42-40 score. It's DeJuice finds the range on the second free throw. Full court, man-to-man for Wekiva. Now they go to a trap. Ocoee breaks it, catches rim. Can't go in, though. Nice rebound. Windex work for Shaw. Back up to the top of the key. Harris keeps that ball, and he'll come back out to Shaw, who'll reset the offense. 1-on-1 against Thomas. 2.5 remaining from Mustang Arena. Down low, into McClinton. He turns around, faces a double team, gets away with it in the corner. Shaw, no dice, bounces off. DeJuice skying for the rebound. They back the other way we go. Wekiva a chance to tie the game or take the lead. Over to Johnson, the senior, the face of the program, 1-on-1. They swing it around to St. Pierre. We're under 2 minutes. 2-point deficit for Wekiva. Back up top to Johnson. Wekiva now going a much more deliberate pace as far as the shot. Swinging through the lane, the attack and the withdrawal.
Pierre banks it in for 2.
Sixth tie of the game with 1:40 remaining. Wekiva tying it up. Now back on defense. Ball comes loose from Shaw. Johnson, stop, pop, and drop from the free throw. Short, Dice hits the net, gets the interception. It's been topsy-turvy now for the last couple of possessions, and we are tied still at 42 all as both teams turn that ball over on their opportunity to take the lead. Harris, stop, pop, short, blanks off the rim. Grabbing that rebound is Gordon, the spin, and floats it to Gordon. Offensive rebounding, the key there back at the other end. Thomas gets some separation but can't attack. 40 seconds remaining, down by a deuce.
Yeah, I wish he would have committed to that because Princeton Gordon tripped and fell.
Deuce picks up the loose ball. Up at the top of the key. No dice for Anderson. Rebound.
Ooh, St. Pierre ties the game. And it's a new ball game with 30 seconds remaining. Full timeout called by the Mustangs.
And we've talked about it all night, Mark. St. Pierre, one of those names that we just keep saying and bringing up. And this time, he gets only the second rebound, offensive rebound in this quarter for Wekiva, but can't be any bigger as he ties the game up at 44. 30 seconds remaining from Mustang The site, Mustang Arena, home of the Wekiva Mustangs. The score, the Ocoee Knights 44, the road team. The Wekiva Mustangs 44. It's been a barn burner, to use Keith Jackson's terminology, the Hall of Fame broadcaster, even though it's a different sport. And it was pretty much a dull, boring game for about 3 quarters. Ocoee took the lead. They trailed for only about 30 seconds, but they were never able to get more than an 8-point lead. Wekiva stormed back at the beginning of the 4th quarter, putting together a 10-2 run, tying the game at 37-all. And since then, we have seen 4 lead changes, 5 in total, along with 5 ties. Well, we're down to the last 15 seconds. Ocoee with possession. Looks like they're going to hold it for the last shot in this Metro Conference matchup. Right wing extended. McClinton in the middle. Someone got a hand on it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Down into the corner at the buzzer. Clinks off the rim.
And that takes us to the end of regulation. We are going to overtime. 32 minutes was not enough to decide this ball game, so here are the rules of overtime. We're going to put 4 minutes on the clock. We are going to clear the possession arrow, and there will be a new jump ball. All personal fouls and team fouls from regulation will carry over into the overtime period, as this is considered an extension of the 4th quarter. So that means that Wekiva still has 2 team fouls, and Ocoee still has 3 team fouls. Each team gets 1 additional full timeout. That means Wekiva now has 2 fulls and 1 30, and Ocoee has 2 fulls and no 30s. And at the conclusion of 4 minutes, the team ahead will, of course, be the victor in overtime.
So once again, both these teams looking for their 2nd victory of the season. Wekiva in a much better position, though. They have played half the number that Ocoee has. Ocoee 1-5, Wekiva 1-2.
So they got 3 all fools.
2.5.
There's also a geographic rival, as the schools are only 7-8 miles apart. Neither team shooting the ball well tonight. They probably have brought up in that 4th quarter, especially in the last 4 minutes, the percentage a little bit. Now probably around 35%. Still under 40% though, as the ball snagged by Ocoee, and they'll go to work. We are tied at 44. 5 lead changes, 6 ties, all but 2 of them occurring in the second half, and the 4th quarter specifically, as a whistle right off the bat, 18 seconds into overtime.
Fouls called against Mustangs. Number 11, Ransellin, that's his 3rd personal foul, the team's 3rd of this extended 4th quarter.
St. Pierre, the leading scorer for Wekiva with 11. And Shaw, the leading scorer for Ocoee, with 16. As Coach Lubin, the Wekiva coach, discussing with our referees. 3:42 remaining. We are in overtime from Mustang Arena. The inbound over to McClinton. Long range, short, can't find the range. That was Shaw. 8 seniors on the Ocoee team. And that ball ripped out, but contact made as well.
Draws the contact. Foul is called against Knights number 5, Michael McClinton, his 4th personal foul, the team's 4th of this extended 4th quarter.
So
that was on the floor. Mustang's ball at the opposing baseline.
Non-shooting foul, but as Mark Barchi said, I'm Neil Fisher. Mark is also our public address announcer. Fouls do not reset. So Wekiva will be in bonus the rest of the way.
Yeah, so that is one
Ocoee,
thing.
2 fouls for bonus.
Yeah, while the criteria for bonus changed, one thing that didn't change is the fact that the overtime is considered an extension of the 4th quarter, so the fouls do not reset at the start of overtime. regardless of whether we're counting them by half or by quarter.
And speaking of foul,
Foul is called against Mustangs number 11, Jason Francillin. That is his fourth personal foul on the team's fourth. So we're going to be in penalty both ways from now on.
yeah, and of course, Mark, wouldn't you know it as soon as I said I did the foul count? We get a foul, which puts us in bonus the rest of the way. Wekiva full court, man-to-man defense, 3:15 remaining. We're in overtime, 44 all, neither team able to score.
And again, you also do not get any grace on your personal fouls either.
Had a lot of contact.
Fouls called
Harris,
against number 21, Kenny DeJuiced. That's his fourth personal foul, the team's fifth of this extended fourth quarter. And so that is a penalty situation at the line, shooting 2 for double bonus, Michael McClinton. So again, as I started to say earlier, you don't get any grace for the extra minutes when it comes to your personal foul count either. So that means Michael McClinton for Ocoee, Jason Francillin and Kenny DeJuiced for Wekiva with 4 fouls cannot commit any more. They will be out of the game if they commit one more foul. And that would be true even if we go to double or triple or quadruple overtime.
So McClinton with 3 points has a second opportunity to give Ocoee the lead. After missing the first, 3:06 remaining, can't get either of them. And DeJuiced just snagged that ball right out of the hands of Harris, and an immediate whistle.
Foul is called against number 21, Jeremiah Harris. That's his second personal foul, the team's fifth of this extended fourth quarter. And so now that will send Kenny DeJuiced to the line, shooting 2 for a bonus.
So 56 seconds into overtime. Neither team has scored yet. Both teams have had multiple opportunities. And now we're getting a repeat on the far end, the left end, of what we saw on the previous possession, free throw attempts. DeJuiced with 7 points.
So far through 56 seconds, we have not moved the needle in either direction since the end of regulation. Now we do. So Mustangs take their third lead of the game. Third or fourth, Neil, one of those.
6 lead changes in total. We've been going back and forth since 37-37 at 6:15.
3 for the Knights.
47-45 lead now for Ocoee. 2:39 remaining. The other way, trying to get the answer. DeJuiced can't snag it. Harris rips it out of his hands. And Coach Thomas, Ocoee's coach, calls a timeout immediately.
Full timeout requested by the Knights.
So the 7th lead change of this game, and the 6th at 6:15 of the fourth quarter puts Ocoee in the lead by a pair, 47-45, 2:29. Wekiva needs to come up with a stop when we return. This is the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network. The Ocoee Knights taking the lead on a tray. 47-45 lead for the Knights over Wekiva Mustangs, the home team. Of course, the big black W with the maroon Mustang at midcourt here at Mustang Gymnasium. They have possession, Ocoee that is. after Wekiva unable to score on its possession. It's been a back-and-forth game since 6:50 of the fourth quarter. Wekiva man-to-man defense, now down to 2:15, down low. Gordon the shot, blocked, rejected, and Wekiva just that quickly a chance to tie or take the lead, and they're unable to.
Foul is called against Lubin St. Pierre on the player control foul. It's his fourth. No bonus shots on offensive fouls, but it does turn the ball over to the Knights. Charge taken by Jeremiah Harris.
Both these teams with just one victory, albeit still a fairly young season. Ocoee though 1-5, Wekiva 1-2. So about 200 fans, maybe 225. Of course, Ocoee just 7-8 miles up the road, down the 429. Both these schools opened at relatively the same time. Ocoee in 2005, Wekiva 2007. Harris, the floating attempt at the deuce, no dice, but the withdrawal from the bank is Gordon.
Put back, scored by Princeton Gordon.
Now a 49-45 lead for Ocoee as we drop to 140 remaining. And now things are starting to turn on Dyer's side with a minute and a half left. Wekiva absolutely needs to come up with a stop as they go to the double team. And they're unable to get it.
Picks up 2.
51-45, a 7-0 run for Ocoee. Wekiva scored the first points of the fourth quarter on a free throw from DeJuice. Both teams unable to score on the first 3 or 4 possessions. Since then, though, it's been all Ocoee, the 7-0 run, and now the 6-point lead in overtime between these two Metro Conference rivals. From Mustang Arena. Mustang Arena, the site, home of the Wekiva Mustangs, and Wekiva has its work cut out for itself. It's going to have to come up with a couple of momentum swinging plays, trailing 51-45 to the Ocoee Knights. A geographical rival just 7 miles up the road. 7-0 run by Ocoee has propelled them into the lead and by 6 as we approach 1 minute. And steps out of bounds. Coach Lubin does not agree with that call. I think he wants a foul. So now Wekiva absolutely needs to come up with a stop, trailing by 6 points. Got to keep that lead to 2 possessions. Ball comes loose, double team, just over midcourt. And
Knights request their final timeout, full timeout, called by the Knights.
Still 56 seconds remaining. And now, of course, Ocoee with that turnout in the driver's position. 51-45 from Mustang Arena.
Welcome. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi here with Neil Fisher, and we've had a thriller here, but Wekiva has only mustered a free throw since the overtime period started. Ocoee seems to maybe have just a little bit more gas in the tank. We'll see if Wekiva has any answers here, but Ocoee is going to have the ball, and at this point all they really need to do is to get as much time off the clock as they can before Wekiva inevitably fouls them.
Yeah, don't turn the ball over. The 51-45 lead.
Well, that was a rough pass, but at least they're playing keep away nicely.
7-0 run now
for
Ocoee as well. That's propelled them not only into the lead, but the 2-possession lead.
Bryce Dees is called on his first personal foul. Penalty situation, Jeremiah Harris at the line shooting 2.
So Harris with 5 points. Certainly it's been a heart-stopping action since the beginning of the fourth quarter. There was only one tie and one lead change. Ocoee led for all but about 30 seconds.
Yeah, and
up to that point, Wekiva tied the score at 37-all with 6:50 remaining.
And Wekiva just let a good 10 seconds come off the clock there before they got the foul in. So now down minimum 3 possessions, even with trays. 46 seconds, that's a tall order. I mean, I'm not saying it can't be done, but Wekiva's got to move. Ocoee goes into full court formation.
40 seconds remaining. Wekiva getting that ball up. Again, as Mark said, you don't have a lot of time to work with. Johnson takes the ball and splash!
3 for Juju Johnson, and the Mustangs will spend a timeout.
33 seconds left, and exactly what the doctor ordered if you're Wekiva. 52-48, still a ways to go, but hope still remains intact.
Full timeout called by the Mustangs.
And now we are in free throw mode as we return to live action. 52-48 lead for the Ocoee Knights over Wekiva Mustangs, the home team. So now if you're Ocoee, and they got that lead here in overtime on a 7-0 run, about midway through overtime, you don't want to turn the ball over and make one of two free throws, and you certainly put Wekiva in a desperate hole. Of course, Wekiva full court defense on the trap. Ocoee breaks it patiently. Still no foul. There's the turnover. You got to get the ball up quickly. Johnson, and he turns it over. And that was Thomas who was the intended receiver, and it just looked like he went the opposite way that Johnson thought. Now we got to do it all over again. And out of bounds. In the meantime, 17 seconds remaining. Down low, long pass.
Passed it by Princeton Gordon.
And that, I believe, folks, is going to do it. 6-point lead. Well, not quite.
3 for Leuven St. Pierre, and the Mustangs will spend their final timeout.
So 4 turnovers in overtime by Wekiva compared to 1 for Ocoee. Still hope remains for Wekiva, down by 3. but only 6 seconds remaining to work with. They're going to have to get a quick turnover or foul. A tray by Levin St. Pierre has kept hope alive for Wekiva, the home team.
Yeah, it
down
has to
50.
be either a turnover or a foul with 2 misses
And you got to
and
do
a
it
defensive
within,
rebound, and you got to do it instantaneously.
Yeah, you don't have much more than about a second to work with as far as coming off the clock. It'll be Roundtree passing it in. Perfect pass. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, and that will do it. There's your final buzzer. So we go into overtime. Wekiva scoring the last 2 points to send it into overtime. A rough, tough, physical game, as you would expect, between Ocoee and Wekiva, 2 geographical rivals. Ocoee takes a 45-44 lead, but then it was all Ocoee during the last 2.5 minutes. A 7-0 run puts them in the lead for good. Wekiva drops to 1-3. Ocoee ups itself to 2-5, getting that second victory of the season.
That takes us to the end of the ball game. Took us 4 extra minutes, but we got there with overtime, and it is a 3-point victory and a thriller for the Ocoee Knights. We'd like to thank everyone for coming out to support your Mustang and Knight athletes. Thanks also to those of you who joined us online. We hope we'll see you again on Friday. The Mustangs host West Orange. That'll be another 7 o'clock start for Varsity, and that also will be live streamed on YouTube and the NFHS network. For those of you in the arena, please drive carefully and arrive home safely. Those of you watching online, please subscribe before you go. Either way, have a great night.